Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. Got a really big topic on the agenda today because we are going to be discussing Lionel Messi's future. We are going to be speaking in full about his contract situation and effectively, when are we going to see some genuine progress? The La Liga season starts in just 3 weeks' time. What is happening? Why is it happening? And exactly when can we expect a serious breakthrough when it comes to Messi? Because right now at the club, a number of players in this team effectively hold the key to Messi's continuity, and that is not a situation that fills any of us with any confidence. Because before we do get into those players and exactly what needs to happen to make that progress when it comes to Messi, let's just recap here on the fact that the best player in the world right now is currently unattached. He does not have a club. Messi is a free agent right now after his contract there expired at Barça. Now, first of all, we heard that back at the end of June, Messi's renewal may be announced on his birthday on June the 24th. Didn't happen. Then on July the 1st, we were told that maybe once his contract expired, Barça would officially announce that he'd be continuing at the club. Again, didn't happen. Then, as the Copa America continued to go on, Messi, of course, going all the way to the final and more, we were expecting that once Copa America was done, then we'd have the official Messi news. But still, it's been 2 weeks now since the end of Copa America, and whilst Messi enjoyed glory with Argentina, we are still lacking a serious breakthrough in terms of his contract. So what exactly is the hold-up right now? Because right throughout this process, President Joan Laporta, who has arrived in the midst of an absolute desperate situation at the club, he has consistently said that Messi wants to renew. The ambition there of the player has always been to stay at Barça. Laporta knows Messi very, very well, and he's never once been concerned that Messi wouldn't want to stay at the club. And of course, the club too want to renew Messi. That has never been in question. However, as we all know right now, Barca have a big problem, and it's not just only in terms of Messi's renewal, but our wage bill has been spiralling out of control because of the decisions of previous President Josep Maria Bartomeu. But it's the new wage cap in La Liga that's really causing an immediate complication. That is the reason right now why we cannot register Messi as a new Barca player, because in doing so, even though Messi would accept a 50% wage cut, which is a big decrease on his previous contract, that would still, as of right now, take us above what we were allowed to have as our wage bill, and as a result, we can only register Messi once we made serious reductions. Now, in order to make those reductions, there are several Barcelona players, and particularly there when you're looking at high-earning players, that we, for the last few weeks, the last few months, throughout this summer, we've been desperately trying to move on. Number one, Sergio Roberto earns there around 200,000 euros a week, at least, probably there. It's even above that. Now, his contract expires next summer, and given the arrival of Emerson, given the continuation there of Serginho Dest, Roberto at right-back is very much surplus to requirements. Now, we've heard him linked to Man City. Nothing really came of that. We've also more recently heard him linked to Bayern Munich. Again, no official offer, no official approach has been made by them. So right now, we are stuck with Sergio Roberto. Now, so far in pre-season, Ronald Koeman has deployed him in midfield for both of the games, and I do just wonder there if we are forced into keeping Sergio Roberto, which right now is looking very, very likely. There is nobody out there who's willing to take on that kind of salary. He also is not looking to leave the club. And if we do have to keep him, I do wonder there whether Laporta could say to Koeman, well, you know what? Instead of your midfield signing, instead of bringing somebody in there spending more money that we don't have, could Roberto be that box-to-box midfield profile that Ronald Koeman so desperately wants? Another big earner that the club is desperately trying to get rid of is Samuel Umtiti. Right now, of course, he is earning wages of even more than Sergio Roberto, around 220,000 euros a week. And the big problem with Umtiti is that he has a contract there for 2 more years on top of this one. So he's got a contract there until 2023. So far, of course, in pre-season, he has started both of the games alongside Gerard Piqué. And I do feel as though the club right now, all they're trying to do is is just prove that he can play. He is capable there of going out onto the field, actually staying fit and playing football. They are desperately waiting for somebody to come in and take Umtiti off our hands. Again, the wages are a huge issue. There's been links to Lyon, a return there. There's also been links to Marseille, Premier League clubs as well. But as of right now, no club is willing to come in and pay the kind of salary that Umtiti's currently earning. And like I say, if he so chooses, he could stay and earn that for another 2 years. Then there is another extremely high earner, Miralem Pjanic, and this is an absolutely incredible one because it seems now that Barca, and what I mean by that is Bartomeu was so desperate to do that swap deal with Juventus there, Arthur going one way, Pjanic going the other. He was desperately there, tried to basically balance the books, at least on paper, for that financial year, and he was so desperate to do that Pjanic, as a result, is one of the club's highest earners as a result, earning there apparently between 250 to 300,000 a week, and he didn't even play last season. Ronald Koeman doesn't even count on Miralem Pjanic. He's 31 years old. He doesn't seem to have any sort of future at the club, and it's just unbelievable that we have players like this earning that kind of money at another club, at another big European club. That would be for the absolute best player, for the absolute top player. Yet we've got somebody there earning that kind of money, and all he's doing is sitting on the bench. He's been linked to the Premier League this summer. He's also been linked, of course, with a return to Juventus. But as of right now, none of that has come to fruition, which means those kind of wages are still on our books. However, there is part of me right now that feels as though the club is biding their time. We have heard a number of rumours there right throughout June, right throughout July. Now we are moving, of course, very nearly into the month of August. And I do believe we are reaching that period now where the club are going to say, you know what, we have given you every opportunity. We have tried to find you a club. We have tried to find potential suitors. You've either rejected moves. You've either not bothered to even consider them. And as a result of that, we're about to take drastic measures, because I firmly believe that what we saw with Matheus Fernandes, it was a message. Yes, we wanted to get rid of him. Yes, of course, he was one of those players that had no future at Barca. But to terminate his contract in the way that we did, apparently there, it wasn't even done by phone. It wasn't even done face-to-face. They sent him there an email telling him that he was no longer needed and that his contract basically at the club had been ripped to shreds. And I do believe that for these kind of players here who are on huge money, that are rejecting moves away, Barca, if it comes down to it, they will say, you know what, you're gone, you're out, and we'll see you later in the courtroom. And that may be, for several of these players, the only way out. Of course, though, it is not only players potentially who are at the club not providing anything that can be of worth here and can maybe be the key to Messi continuing at the club, but it's also players who have real quality. Antoine Griezmann is somebody who very much does hold the key to Messi being registered next season, because if he was to leave, undoubtedly, Messi would be able to be signed, given the fact that without Messi, Griezmann is comfortably the club's highest earner there on a contract until 2024, and of course recently he seemed to be on his way back to Atletico Madrid. But I think the fact that Atleti knew that we were desperate, they know our situation, they know that we sort of had to try and get rid of Griezmann. They wanted the deal, not only cut price, but they also wanted Barca there to subsidise, to actually contribute towards Griezmann's wages, and that is not something that Barca were willing to do. Yes, we want to register Messi, yes, of course we want to get our finances back on a manageable level, but at the same time, we're still not going to be bullied by our direct rivals. Somebody there who we're going to be competing for a title against next season. We're not going to hand you Griezmann for free. You're going to have to pay for him, and you're going to have to pay all of his wages. Barca apparently now are looking to the Premier League, the likes of Chelsea, given that they can't get Erling Haaland this summer. Also Man City, if the Kane deal there falls through, maybe they would contemplate signing Antoine Griezmann. Even Tottenham have been linked, but I honestly don't see Griezmann going to the Premier League, and apparently there his preference is to stay in La Liga, which means that right now, it seems in the case of Griezmann, it's Atletico or it's nothing. Which brings me, finally, to the subject of wage reductions. Because there are a number of players in this team that maybe we don't want to sell. Maybe we don't want to move them on this summer. Maybe they can still be used to the team. But that still doesn't change the fact that they're earning far, far too much than A, the club can afford, and B, than they're actually contributing to the team. So, there are a number of players right now in the first team earning big, big amounts that both Laporta and Mattia Almani are trying to convince right now to accept immediate wage reductions. I'm talking there about Gerard Piqué. I'm talking about Jordi Alba. I'm talking about Sergio Busquets. Players there who are senior players at the club. They are all earning over 200,000 euros a week. They've all been at the club for a long, long time. And you could say that, yes, they've earned those deals. They've earned their money. They've given a lot to the club. But at the same time, let's not forget, the club have given them a lot too. This club has given these players an awful lot over the years. A lot of trust in them, a lot of faith in them. Maybe some of them at other clubs right now wouldn't even be here anymore. So the club are counting on them and they are calling upon them to accept wage reductions, which of course would help that wage bill too. And last but not least, guys, there is one more avenue this summer that the club could look to go down in order to reduce that wage bill in a sort of emergency type of way, because actually, could renewals be the key to reducing wages? Now, that might seem a little bit strange on the face of it, and it might seem even more strange when I say that maybe renewing the likes of Ousmane Dembele and Sergio Roberto could actually help the club in the short term. Because it could be strongly argued, and you know what? I would agree that neither Roberto nor Dembele deserve a contract extension. What have they done on the field recently to actually prove that they should stay at the club for many more years? But if they were to accept a contract extension, not only would it prevent either of those players leaving for free next summer, it would prevent that from happening, but it would also mean that if they accepted that new contract proposal, it would be on around half of their current wages. So Roberto there and Dembele reportedly, if they are going to stay at the club, Barça are going to offer them half of their current wages. They're going to say, you know what, yes, you can have a renewal, yes, you can stay at the club potentially with more years to come, but you half your salary now. And although the renewals may seem strange, you can kind of see that in the short term, immediately slashing those kind of salaries by half, given the fact you can't sell them. Laporta is kind of here in an impossible situation, and I really don't envy what he's come into here. So that right there, guys, is an explanation right now, and quite a full explanation I do have to say. Sorry there that I did ramble on a little bit in terms of all these financial details and the players here, the players there, but you know what? This is just the tip of the iceberg. The club right now are having to do so much work behind the scenes to try and get through this financial disaster that Bartomeu has left us in. Of course, we want to see Lionel Messi continue at the club. I do believe that in the end it is definitely going to happen, but in order to get there, I think you are going to have to see some drastic measures taken. I feel like now, time is running out. The club will need to start acting very, very soon. Watch this space and see what happens in the near future. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about how you would try and navigate your way through this situation. And if your brain isn't fried by the time you've got here, well played and well done for following all of that information. I'll be seeing you soon. Thanks again, guys. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.